Well, I served in the Marine Corps in the 5th Division, and in the 5th Division wasn't many left of them after they got off in Iwo Jima. So then we went to Japan, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki, and then I got transferred to the 2nd Division. I met some good friends there, but mostly they didn't want us to be real friendly with anyone, because then you got to go through losing a buddy or something like that. But I served on Iwo Jima. That was the main combat. And I didn't get on Suribachi, but I went to the north by the airstrips where the airplanes had to land. And that's where we traveled from, or had to go across the airstrips to clear that particular area of enemies. And we were there quite a while.
Where did you grow up? Maybe to take you back to your childhood. Did you grow up here in this area?
Eastmanville.
Eastmanville. Okay.
Yeah.
And brothers, sisters?
Yeah, they all live around here.
Okay. How many?
I had one brother. He was in the Navy, and he was on LCI 785. Remember that part? Anyhow, I would be on LST going into combat, and I did see his ship a couple times. All I did see was the number, because I knew the number, LCI 785. So one time he came into San Diego with his boat, did LCI, and he walked up the mountain to see me. And he said that didn't realize it was that far up the mountain, Mount Camp Pendleton.
Okay.
And that's where I was at. But then Marines, he was in the Navy, and the Navy didn't really click that good, so he didn't get much help from anyone on the way up. We made his way up there, and I did get to see him then, back in 1944. It was something he wanted to do, because he knew where I was going. I didn't know where I was going, but he did. But LCI 785. I never forgot that number. Then when I was going in Pearl Harbor, out of Pearl Harbor, back going towards Iwo Jima, then I would see his ship once in a while, and I would know he was on there, but that's all I could do about it.
How old were you when you went in?
I was 18.
18 years old. And what was your reasons for joining the military?
Well, I worked in the Greenville farm with Garrett Booth, here at Garrett Booth. Well, anyhow, I had to work hard, and I thought, well, it can't be any worse in the service. And everyone else that I was acquainted with was leaving, and my brother was one of them. And he left for the Navy. I thought, well, I guess I didn't have to go in. I could have stayed out and been deferred because of farming. And I just thought I would go in. I didn't expect to get in the Marine Corps, though. Well, when I got in, going through my physical in Detroit, they needed a quota for the Marine Corps. That's how I got in the Marine Corps. You volunteered for Marine Corps.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's how come I got in the Marine Corps, really.
You didn't even have to raise your hand.
No, didn't have to. Right, they just told you. Yeah. Then I went from here. I went from my physical in Detroit, and had my physical in Detroit, and from there, I passed my physical right away, and they sent me right to, right to California. And I went to Camp Pendleton, which I didn't know. I didn't know where I was going at all. They put us up for one night in a motel or hotel or whatever it was in Detroit, and from there we went on. From there, we went the next morning on a bus to California.
So was this your first time away from home?
Yeah, for any length of time. Yeah, right.
Okay. And while you were in, did you get much mail at all? Did you get any correspondence from your parents?
Got a lot of correspondence. A lot of people wrote me, and that was a blessing too. And I was dating one girl at that time, but and I still feel bad that she always wrote to me all the time, and I always wrote her back too, but I never went to see her either. Sometimes you didn't want to see anybody, really. I didn't anyhow. But I wasn't a big lover boy. Just a farm boy.
Sure.
Everyone, I mean, I had a lot of people writing me. I mean, a lot of them. Uncles and aunts and whatever.
Good support.
Lester and Langland, among others.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was well taken care of that way.
Kind of tough to come from a farm.
I know, you're right, it was. I was. But I adjust quite easily. I do. I do.
And you met some good friends, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who probably had similar experiences growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I met some good guys. I still write one in New Jersey. Polly could tell you the address. I can't hear. But anyhow, I still correspond with him.
Really?
Yeah, he was a Christian, good Christian guy too.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Jesperson was his name.
When you went into the service, what was the hardest thing to be without?
Church. Good sermon. Never had one early. That's what I really missed. My family and going to church. We had chaplains, I don't mean that, but they weren't what I was used to. But all my life I was a member of the Lamont CRC. In fact, that's where I made profession of faith too. And, yeah.
So taking you back to your home, what was the things you missed the most about your home?
My parents and my brother and sister.
Sure.
And one brother, one sister. But my brother, he went in the Navy before I went in the Marine Corps. So.
Okay. How many years was that before you went in? Did he go in within a year, or
Yeah, about a year.
Okay. And that kind of raised a question in your mind, like the big brother's doing it.
Yeah, young brother.
Young brother. He was younger than you.
Younger than me.
Oh.
He was only 17 when he went in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you think about that today, well, that's a boy. My grandkids now are 17. You wouldn't want to see him. I wouldn't care to see him going to combat.
What was your younger brother's name? First name?
Jim.
Jim.
He passed away probably about 4 years ago.
So did you come away with an occupation when you came out of the military? Did you have anything that you had in mind?
Just a farm boy. Ended up hauling cattle, worked on the farm, had some property of my own, and cash crop. But my dad didn't have a big farm. He had a small farm. Right, you know where my Christian school is?
I saw the sign coming here.
Okay, yeah, well, that's where the farm was.
Okay.
That school's off on the farm.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave that property where the school's on to Lamont Christian School to be built for that reason. Yeah.
Well,
when I came back, then I met a girl from Lucas, Michigan, and I married her, and we had 5 children, 4 girls and a boy, and they all live right around here. So one of them married a Bruni, and another married Skirbeck, and if that helps you any.
And what was her name?
Nelva.
Nelva.
N-E-L-V-A, yep.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Balkama.
Okay. And how long were you married to her?
Oh, we were married about 7 years.
7 years.
Then she died.
Okay.
She had a lot of health problems. Well, then when she passed on, then I met Pauline. Her real name is Pauline, in Sloten, and I met her on a blind date, and well, anyhow, by the grace of God, we did get married, and I told her I wasn't much, but she found out that later. I met a lot of good guys in the Marine Corps. I really did. But a lot of them never came back. Well, they told us when on the way down there, on the way to Iwo, that your possibility of coming back is real slim. I got run up by the commanding officer when I was aboard the ship because I goofed off a little bit. They caught me at it. So he says, I could run you up because we was in enemy waters, and you probably won't come back anyhow, so I'm not going to run you up. But he didn't know what God had planned for me.
Right.
But I didn't either, really, I didn't.
So it sounds like you were a little bit of a prankster then. That you were.
Well, I had to stand guard from 12 to 4 in the morning, and that's a dull time. I had to stand guard aboard LST, and I thought, well, how come the Navy don't do this instead of the Marine Corps? So then I just sat on my bunk was tied up on top deck to the gun turret, and I just sat down on that for a few minutes to kind of get relaxed, I guess. But anyhow, then I got caught by the sergeant of the guard. He run me up. He said, well, I have to run you up because I caught you. Well, okay. But anyhow, when we got to Japan, Hiroshima, that's where we had to go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki to police that place. But then there was a bunch of Japs still after us. You know, we could hear them talking around back of us. But we had one guy that could understand Japan language a little bit. He said, they're out after us, so we better move out of here.
The Japanese defense was headed by General Tadamachi Karabashi, and he ordered each soldier, Japanese soldier, to kill 10 Americans.
Yep, you're right. Yep.
Had you heard that before you landed? Had you known that there was going to be this much of a defense of that island?
Yeah, they warned us a little bit. But then we, or at least I did, and my company landed on the north side. Red, I think I said Red. Beach Red.
What do you remember about the island, about its structure, about...
it was all caves and sand, hard to get around in.
It was 4 miles long.
Yeah.
It was shaped like a pork chop.
Yep.
It actually was 8 square miles altogether. There was no front lines. There was no rear flank. Every inch was a battleground.
Yep. That's right.
There was, what, 22,000 Japanese estimated?
Yeah.
Who lived not on Iwo Jima, but in
the caves. They had their hospitals under there, and that's where they actually lived. That was their whole well-being.
And they kept you busy at night more?
Oh, yeah, at night, especially at night. You could see them crawling around out there and trying to get in by our position. And they wouldn't, someone did get in there, then they'd throw a hand grenade in there or something. And that would end that. But they were sneaky. They were, but they knew the island good enough to get around in. Yeah.
I read that the hand grenade was the guy's best friend.
Yeah, it was.
You landed. How many were on your ship, or how many were on your
Oh boy.
Your carrier there?
Yeah, in LST we came to shore up to as far as they could go in LST. Then we had to get off in the LST down the net to go to Higgins boat to shore. So and I don't know how many. I know the Higgins boat was full. Then that Higgins boat opened up in the front, goes up there, and then drops the front end down, and out you go, like a bunch of cows or so. Yeah. No, but.
Were you being shot at that point in time? Or?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we shot at when we left. Right, you got snipers. We were, never was a peaceful moment really that you could say it's over with. They were sneaky. The Japs. Well, like you said, they were out there to get the Americans, and we did our job, I guess.
That's right. I did read about the hills too. Every time you took a hill, it seemed like the enemy again showed up on the flank or on the rear, and you were right back at it again.
Yep, right back at it. Yep. They were hard to conquer, real hard. Well, they were, like I said, they were out to get you, and so many each Jap had to get so many Americans killed. Well, the Navy did a lot.
The Navy helped a lot.
Oh yeah.
Especially at night. They shot something that was called star shells.
Yeah. They keep the whole island lit up. They did. You could see the Japs walking around, sneaking around, you might say.
Do you remember any skirmishes that you had?
Oh yeah.
What can you tell me? Can you talk about those things?
Oh yeah, I can somewhat. Another Marine and I and the corpsman had to go up the front line to pick up some wounded. Well, anyhow, the corpsman didn't come back, and neither did the other Marine. I was the only one that came back. The rest of them got shot. Well, I was trying to get this one individual on stretcher, and then other than that, then we had some that got some close calls to. Well, snipers were still picking at us, and we came and left the island too. It was very, very rewarding in some extent.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Hard to sleep?
Oh yeah, in a foxhole. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyhow, like you said, at night, you can see them crawling around, all around outside. But the sky was all lit up all night long. The sky was lit up with flares or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What kind of weapon did you have? I read in your book.
M1. Well, I got bounced around different places. I run a flamethrower for a while, and burned some out of the holes and burned the Japs out. And then I run a machine gun and BAR. We were all trained to operate with them particular weapons, you might say. But I think the M1 was about the most accurate shot there was. Mm-hmm. It was a good rifle.
Mm-hmm. Flamethrower was a little bit...
Flamethrower, I had to use that too for a while.
Dangerous to carry though.
Oh yeah. You had them tanked on your back, and I didn't... It's a wonder I didn't get shot then, really. Because I had guys maybe that 10 feet from me were shot.
How did you feel when the war ended?
Well, we were blessed that we got as far as we did. I thought, at least I did. Mm-hmm. But we had a lot of guys that were buried there on the island too.
Is there one thought about your wartime experience that you want to share with future generations?
Well, thank God for this country that we live in, really. We take too many things for granted here.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stroven. I appreciate your time today and the opportunity to...
I hope I helped you a little bit, but...
Well, you're going to help future generations to understand what it was like and what you went through. And
okay. I appreciate your ability of doing what you're doing, really.
So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And we're very grateful that you served and that we have the ability to be free in this country now.
Yeah. But like I said, there's so many just taken for granted today that we live in this country. You know, that's where they were born and where they've been raised up in this country. They don't know what it is on the outside, really. But I think it's good. I think it's good for anyone to have a certain amount of time in the service and get out in a different part of the country, the world, I think.